The saying, "it's not if it happens, it's when it happens," applies to several scenarios throughout our life. How many of you have ever experienced a flat tire before? At some point along the way, I am sure we will all encounter this setback, and it is my goal to show you how to get back on the road as quickly as possible. More specifically, in today's speech, I will explain in detail how to put on a spare tire. Putting on a spare tire requires 4 basic steps. The first one is loosening the lug nuts. The second step involves lifting the car up with the use of a jack. The third step is removing the old tire and putting on the spare tire. And the fourth and final step is to retighten all the lug nuts back up. Now that you know the 4 basic steps involved, I can break down each one individually and show you some of the tools used. That way you have the confidence and capability to change out a spare tire if the time ever arrives. The first step is loosening the lug nuts. To loosen the lug nuts, you will need your car's tire iron. These are usually what tire irons look like. They can be located in the trunk, they can be located under the seats or in a floor compartment. Once you have the tire iron, you will go over to your flat tire and you will place it on one of the lug nuts. Once you have placed it on one of the lug nuts, you will try to use your hands and manually loosen the lug nut by turning it to the left. However, if you cannot get it to loosen, you may have to use your foot and step on this side, allowing your body weight to loosen the lug nut seal. Once the seal has been broke, you will then go and do the remaining lug nuts. However, you have to do it in a certain fashion. I've drawn on this diagram how you should do it. Some people say it's called diagonally, going diagonal. For me, I think it's better if you call it a star. You go from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5. You follow this same scheme every time when you loosen or tighten the lug nuts. Now, you will go on to the second step. The second step is actually lifting the car up with the use of the jack. Jacks are on all cars, and you will use it by placing it somewhere underneath the car's frame. Once you have it placed underneath the proper spot, you will then begin by turning it clockwise to get the car to lift off the ground. Once the car is approximately 6 inches off the ground, you will then undo the remaining lugs. The third step is to actually remove the tire. Now that the lugs have been removed, you can just take the tire and remove it off and set it to the side. You will then need your spare tire to place on. After it's been placed on, you will tighten those lugs by hand, and then you'll wait to completely tighten them until the fourth step. The fourth step involves lowering the jack back down so that the car is on the ground. Once the car is on the ground, then you can use the tire iron again to tighten them, this time by turning it to the right. Turning them to the right will allow them to be tightened. Make sure, however, that you're doing it in the correct star fashion. As you can see, putting on a spare tire is not as complicated as one might have originally thought. If you just remember to follow the simple steps, loosening the lug nuts, jacking the car up, removing and placing on the new tire, and then tightening them back up, you will be able to put on a spare tire, which is a very useful task that everyone should know how to do. And the best part of all is that you will never have to be that random pedestrian stranded on the side of the road with a flat tire ever again. Thank you.